Yo, what's up? This is Ones, and this is the Really Kick It Podcast, episode 2. And I'd like to start this one off by saying thank you to everybody who liked, shared, subscribed, commented, sent me a text to my personal phone to have a conversation about the material. All the feedback I'm grateful. I'm grateful because that means you gave me a chance. You could have been doing anything in the world, man, and you said, let me tune in and see what Ved's talking about. Let me see what Loco talking about. Let me see what One's talking about. Because no matter what you know me as, everybody took in the information and they seen what I'm trying to do and they say, all right, I'm going to subscribe. I'm going to share this information with other people because other people need to hear this, and I appreciate that. Now, in my preparation to do this episode, I had to look at a lot of things on the internet, things that other people told me about or suggested that I talk about, but I find some things that I found that I want to talk about, things that I have a 2 cents about. So this week I picked, you might have guessed it, more gang shit. And why I picked more gang shit? Because I think that's what the kids is dealing with more than anything in these streets, navigating with the gang shit being present. Today, for my first topic, I want to talk about Lil Durk. Lil Durk, if you don't know, is in jail currently for a murder for hire plot. Allegedly, he sent a bunch of gang members across country to go kill somebody who killed his homeboy, they homeboy, right? He been in there for some time and they saying free Durk and all that, and I get it because that's what they do. It's like cliche at this time. But the feds just dropped new evidence talking about Lil Durk was trying to execute more murder for hire plots. Against who? Against O Block. Yeah, that O Block, the same O Block that they were screaming in all them songs. Lil Durk was trying to pay people to kill people on O Block. And what was it for? Because they didn't slide for Vaughn. His homies didn't slide for his homies, so he was going to kill his homies. That's a loop of destruction, ain't it? All of these niggas sit in the room, all of them rap the same thing, all of them call themselves homies, and these niggas was on the clock and they didn't even know it. He was trying to send the Clippers out for niggas who ain't even know they had beef. They even mentioned one of them, Munna Duke, and you got dudes like Trap Lord Ross and all these other dudes. They going over this thing like with a fine-tooth comb. They looking through paperwork. They doing all this shit. And they came up with Durk may have got his ex-homie, Munna Duke, killed. Munna Duke was one of the people who screamed O Block the hardest and one of the loudest. But I think he had a baby by Durk's cousin, so Durk had a problem with him. And then that led into he didn't slide for Vaughn. See, it's a lot of expectations in this game. No matter what you're doing in your life, no matter where you are in your life, when you get called to put in work, you're expected to put in work. Niggas ain't trying to hear you just had a kid. Niggas ain't trying to hear you better your life, turned yourself over to God. Niggas ain't trying to hear, yo, I just got a good job. Niggas ain't trying to hear none of that. Just go kill something. Throw your life away time. That's what this gang shit is. Now, Durk, of course, it's a bunch of snitches on that paperwork. It's a bunch of snitches. And that's BD, right? So you got BDs fighting GDs, killing each other, all part of one nation. It all started as one nation, right? The folk nation, all was together. It broke up. This is what gang shit is, man. It's irrational shit that we it's like an albatross around the neck of anybody who puts on a bandana. You're going to have more problems within your set than you're going to have with outside of your set. Because of shit like this. The expectation of a rich dude. This dude is rich. He out the way. He all over the world. He plays. He ain't got to be in the trenches, but you are. And for money, you're expected to go put in that work. What was it? 6 dudes from O Block killed FBG Duck? We watched them niggas leave O Block on cameras. They following them on camera all the way to go kill Duck and all the way back. Those dudes were supposed to get paid a lot of money. How much they got paid? Life in prison. That's what they got. And that's what Dirk wanted for all these other dudes that he wanted killed because they didn't slide for Vaughn. Most of these dudes is on the nipple. How were they expected to go slide for Vaughn, like travel to slide for Vaughn, if they can't even make their way where they at right now? Most of these niggas ain't got no money. After King Vaughn died, they was talking about his homies was wearing his clothes and his sneakers and all that. Those aren't the actions of niggas who got money. So with no money, they was expected to fly around the country when they can't even fly around the country for vacations and shit, for leisure shit. But they was expected to do that for Vaughn. And when they didn't or couldn't, they was put on the list to be clipped. That's gang shit. That's gang shit. Unrealistic expectations. Now, Dirk wasn't going to go out there and shoot nobody. He wasn't going to do that. So he was sending the plays. He was paying to get everybody clipped, allegedly. Allegedly. But it wasn't the enemies. It was his own homies that he was about to get clipped. Now, you could go back and watch videos of Vaughn and Dirk and all of them. They in the projects with all these guys. And just like that, they was going to kill each other. Because when you send somebody, that don't mean they going to get the deal done. They could be clipped too. So that goes to show what he think of the friends that are supposed to be close to him, because he was only going to pay the friends close to him to go shoot the friends that he ain't close to. Who's the winner in all that? It ain't even Dirk, because look where he at. And now the feds know why? Because snitches. No matter what you doing in them streets, you're going to have to deal with snitches if it's at a high level. I got snitched on by grown men because I was a problem. That's who gets snitched on, the problem. All these other names, you see a nigga nobody ain't never tell them because niggas don't look at you as a threat. Dirk was a threat to be snitched on because he has money to get people killed. And why are there so many hitmen ready to lay it all on the line? Because niggas is broke. Niggas be starving, hanging around millionaires. You ain't got nothing to add to what he got going on, so what you do? I'm going to throw my life away. That's what you have. But what does that do for you? Take you away from your kids, put you in a grave or in jail. And you a fool if you think them niggas, even if Dirk was still in the street, you think he is about to carry all six of them for life? Nah, he wasn't going to do that. Because they got paid. I paid you your prayer. I paid you what you asked. And you went to jail. So now you supposed to hold it down. That's street rules. Those are street rules. More gang shit. Let's come to NY with it. Jim Jones, Mr. Non-Trade Billy Badass, is beefing with who? Non-trades. The leaders of non-trades, the OGs of non-trades. This one is hilarious. Because most of us know Jim Jones for what? All the blood shit. That's what we know him for. Like he was the one in Dipset that was always ratted out and the Billy this and sort of everything was blood, right? Jim Jones is out here being told he not blood. He out here, the big homies, his OGs, they his OGs. We ain't just gonna say OG, we gonna say his OGs because these are the people who started and pioneered the set that he's claiming. So they're telling him he ain't a blood, he a fashion blood. Right? That's what they said to him. They said, we gonna say the names because these dudes are reputables. I don't want to say supposed to be reputable. These dudes are reputables. I'm gonna say their names. OG Bad Vibes and OG Mandu Warrior. Both of them are saying he paid his way to be blood. He never went through nothing, but he's trying to make blood cool to kids. Now, all of this started with Hocus for a Fifth, drop the flag challenge. On Jim Jones' podcast, he was asked by Fat Joe a bunch of questions about why he blood and the condition of blood and all this other shit. And he basically said, he can't drop his flag. He too deep in and he been through wars and he made it sound like he put on. He made like he been through something for blood. The real Bloods had a problem with that. Because they got the tier 3s, they got the write-ups, they been in the box, they did the cuttings, they got stabbed, they been through shit. And these OGs are telling kids it's all right to drop your flag. See, and this is usually the problem. The gangbangers usually evolve into anti-gang niggas. Because you've been through it. And you know why you've been through it and you know you ain't get shit for it. So the message usually evolves into kids. Stay away from that. That ain't the move. You could do your own thing. You could go to school. This is what come from the hardcore gang members. I mean gang bangers. But the gang members, they telling you, yo, listen, man, this shit is like a fraternity. This shit is cool. We could party. We could stop trying to legitimize gang shit. You could tell everybody to be fucking black again. Let's just be black for a minute. If the OGs who benefit from niggas being in gang and having to pay dues and all that shit, if they are telling kids it's okay to get the fuck out the gang, why would a gang member be trying to legitimize a gang? Now, some of the feedback I got was, damn, bro, a lot of niggas ain't going to repost your shit. A lot of niggas ain't going, because you might be, without aiming at niggas, you might be shooting at niggas. With the truth? If it's a nigga mad at me because I'm telling the truth, then what type of nigga is you? Your lady should be disgusted that she giving you pussy. That's the type of shit I'm on. If it ain't about saving these kids, if it ain't about protecting a woman, what the fuck are we doing? Men are supposed to be the protectors, man. Not the people ushering. Like I ain't pimping my woman. And I ain't trying to turn no kids into no gangbanger. See, a lot of niggas speak this positivity shit. But when it get time for the positivity, they don't want to go all the way. And that mean you a nigga in the way, because a lot of you niggas don't want no violence neither. You shy away from the violence, and then when a nigga try to be peaceful, you try to act like you violent. You niggas got to pick a side, man. We cannot continue to tear down the community and then try to push like we trying to say this shit. That's the conflicting arguments make you a hypocrite. When that came across my phone, I didn't even think twice about it. I know what I'm doing. I know what's the reason for this. I know what's the purpose behind this. And anybody who knows me, I don't care where you go. I'm me. I'm me. We could do whatever, especially right now. My convictions on stupid shit had me standing up to whatever. Imagine what I'm going to do for this right here. It's time for some growth. It's time for some growth. I don't have anybody in my community that I look at as an op. I love everybody, man. And I don't love everybody and you gotta love me. Nah, I love you and I ain't doing none of you. I ain't trying to do none of your family. That's the way I love you. Like, you could stay over there and I love you. Nigga, I ain't got to even say, yo, what's up to you? None of that. Ain't no hate. For nothing. I ain't got no reason to hate on nobody. Shit going good right now. And even when shit wasn't going good, man, I know I had to just stay down until I came back up. I don't want to ever come off as preachy. Never. But I'm always going to come off as a nigga who mean what the fuck he's saying. Because I do. How is Jim Jones supposed to remain calling himself a non-trade blood when the niggas at the top of the ladder kick you off? So now what you do? You fight to stay in their gang, essentially? As a damn near 50-year-old man? Or do you say, you know what? Niggas gave me my walking papers. I'm going to go be my own man. Now, all that positivity that you was talking about, you can have all of that shit. As a regular nigga. If that's really your purpose. Because you can have influence over these young gang members from outside the gang. You could show him his life outside the gang. But like his OG said, this shit is a crutch for him. No different than 6ix9ine. That's what they said, not me. They say he's no different than 6ix9ine. They let him do what he was doing because he was paying the OGs, sending money into jail to SI, Sleep in Peace, to Magoo. All of these names was at the top of 9 Trey. And they were saying he was paying, not putting work. He wasn't on nobody lineup in jail or in the streets. So what gangbanging was he doing anyway? This nigga's crying about what he went through and all that. My nigga, we watched this nigga for 20 years. 20, damn near 30 years. This nigga Boosie has been on death row. He beat kids up, about to do 10 again. And he ain't out here talking about no gang shit. But we know behind the scenes there had to be something. Jim ain't got none of that. So basically what I'm saying is he gonna have to restructure his whole life now. Or look like a bozo. Because you're fighting to remain something that don't want you. I don't got nobody who could tell me I gotta leave their house and I'm gonna fight to stay in that bitch. I don't give a fuck if I need that shelter. If you need me out, I'm out. That's your shit. There's a lot of lessons to be learned when just looking at this gang shit. Just yesterday I seen, on episode 1 we reported that 50 rolling 60s is snitching on Big U. It's 75 now. 75 now. So that's affiliates or actual gang members. I'm telling you, man, be your own man. It's cool. It's cool. I think some of these niggas think they can't drop out of a gang. And that always baffles me. That always baffles me. Because most gang members call themselves bad men. They'll tell you they tough. They'll tell you don't want it with them. But they can't leave a gang. Why? Because somebody will do something to them. The fuck out of here. Like, what's tough? Let's talk about that for a minute. What the fuck is tough? If you can't reclaim your life as a grown man and rebound from a decision that most of us made as kids, if you can't reclaim your own life, stop calling yourself tough. Stop calling yourself a gangster. Because to me, both of those things meaning I'm going to do what the fuck I want to do when I want to do it. Not, I'm gonna go as far as I can with this, and then when niggas tell me, or it's too much resistance, I'm gonna stop. That's why most niggas turn the opposite of what they was in the street when they go in jail. Because alone, it ain't in here. It ain't in here. You got niggas who was out here making songs about Bloods and all type of shit, hit Rikers Island and they blood. It happens fast, and then niggas will start telling you all the reasons. Yo, I wasn't fucking with niggas ain't holding me down and all that. Niggas wasn't holding you down in the streets neither. Niggas be homeless as a motherfucker right here in the streets. Can't call on a homie, nothing. You know who end up saving a nigga a lot of times? It be the women. Niggas be out here shitting on the women and can't get nothing from the homies. Listen, man, I'm on my anti-gang shit. And like I said before, I got homies still in gangs, and all of them. But most of them is my age, so I kind of see the sense, like, all right, you've been doing this since, I get it. But most of those people are in a guidance role now, for the most part. These are the people that I tell you are good people doing good shit, but they're giving all the glory to the gang, basically. Like, oh, look what Crips could do. No, this is what you're doing with Crips. This is what you're doing with Bloods. You understand what I'm saying? Like all the give backs and all that shit. Everybody will show up, but everybody ain't taking part in that shit. That's a few good men doing that could do that without the gang. That's my ultimate point here. We could go back to being fucking black men and that would bring back accountability, because every man would know that head up, that one-on-one is back. That one-on-one is back. When we get rid of gang shit, that one-on-one come back. Nigga snuffed you can't come back and get 100 niggas and be like, oh, a Blood snuffed me. Nah, you gotta be like, yo, Mike snuffed me. So go fight Mike, nigga. Cause you could get niggas riled up with saying, oh, the ops. It'd be one nigga stole on a nigga and they go back to the hood and say the ops. Now it's 90 niggas ready to go to war with these 90 niggas because 2 niggas seen each other and 1 nigga fired on the other one and the other one ran. Shit really be that simple sometimes. But if you take the fake gang shit out of there, that's 2 men fighting. We could come back from that. Ain't nobody spinning the block behind that, nothing, because that's going back to you take some, you give some, you win some, you lose some. We did that for a long time before we started niggas drive-bys. I'm hearing about drive-bys in New York City. Let me tell you something, man. Let me tell you, I don't know if niggas know, but if you don't run down on your op, you pussy. Because that means you scared of them. If you shooting from across the block and through parks and all that shit, you just shooting at a nigga. You want to be known as a shooter. You don't want to be known as a hitter. And if you don't want to be known as a hitter, it's because you don't really want a problem with the person you was shooting at. That's how all these innocent people get hit. You scared to get close to the niggas you say is pussy. How that work? They is so pussy that you got to shoot at them from 90 yards away. All this shit, man. All of it is fucked up. But if I could say 1 or 2, because I know I got some little homies that'll listen to what I'm saying, because I could send them to go. Niggas be, yo, nah. If I could send you to go do something wrong, I'd rather send you to do something for you. I don't want to be the reason nobody away from their kids. I've been in the street a long time, man. Been in a jail, been arrested. Ain't never had a code D. I went on every mission, any one of my friends. If you call me for it, I'm going. I wasn't calling niggas. You know why I wasn't calling niggas? A lot of niggas was older than me. Some niggas had kids already. Them kids, nigga, I grew up with a father and without a father. I was a nigga, my pops was in my life my whole life. And this nigga added no value. This nigga added no value. So when I get around young kids, I can't be detrimental to their growth. I can't put that on me because I don't feel that's what a man is supposed to do. As a man, we supposed to build up these niggas, these young brothers, give them resources, give them advice. Tell them a little bit of your story. Niggas be scared to tell their story. Niggas be scared. I don't want them to look at me like I'm human. Nigga, they need to hear some of this shit. They need to hear what you went through with women. They need to hear what you went through with police. They need to hear what you went through in the streets, period. But in a real way. Because if they respect you, they gonna respect your story. And they gonna respect the care that's in your story because you telling that story to them in a real way allows them to see vulnerability in you. Because you might come outside and say, you look at these niggas and say, this nigga's a bad man. Talk to that nigga, man. Talk to that nigga. He might be just like you. And you might be looking at an older version of you that was erratic, that was gung-ho, that was, I don't give a fuck about nothing. But he a little bit older and he could tell you, I was you. But now look how I see the world. Now look how I see the world. Which goes back to you got to give yourself time to change. With this platform, I swear and I hope that kids engage. Because, yeah, I'm telling my story and I'm talking to adults. A good number of people know me, know what I've been through, but it's a bunch of people who don't. If I could get a forum of young kids to just come out and tell me what they're going through. I want to help in person type shit. I want to come to your block and mediate shit. See if I could gather the big homies from different places and hear about some of these grievances these kids got, we could figure out how to mitigate a lot of this shit, man. From a top-down perspective, because if you saying you the man in your hood and I'm the man in my hood, call me and let's get this shit together so we can stop kids from going to jail. That's the way we supposed to be working. I'm not looking at the black man like, yo, stay away from me, get the fuck out of here. Nah, I want to meet you. I want to get to know you. You know why? Because I'm your brother. I'm your brother. We ain't even have to meet. But I know police look at us like that. We all the same way. I fit the description right now of a bunch of niggas I ain't never met. So what that tell me? I can't be no different than them. You understand what I'm saying? If they look at us the same, we can act the same. We can all act like we got some fucking sense. Because that's all we need to do. I seen West Coast gangbangers talk about checking in. They still talking about checking in. Big U in jail for what Big U in jail for, and niggas are still talking about checking in. That shit is oppression for black people. And I'm going to prove it right now. 2 videos after I watch a LA nigga talk about checking in, I watched the LA nigga talk about gentrification. Why I gotta check in, but a nigga could gentrify you out your neighborhood with no shots fired? Because your thinking is wrong. Your thinking is the problem. How Marlo said, you wanted to be one way, but it's another. They locked into the cycle of thinking their presence matters. And that's the most contradictory shit. Because these people also try to flip it. Like when Kendrick and Drake was dissing each other. These niggas tried to act like Black Power lives on the West Coast. They tried to act like Black Power lives on the West Coast. Like everybody is out there uplifting each other and loving each other. That is the most oppressive place for black people in the United States, hands down. Again, man, I'm anti-gang, man. I'm anti-gang. Let me tell you a quick story, right? Now, this is about me because I like to talk about these topics, but I like to bring it home with my experiences, right? When I was 15, right? I'm gonna condense the story so it ain't long and drawn out, right? When I was 15, right, I'm gang banging, I'm cripping. I'm outside with two of my homeboys who wasn't in the gang, right? These niggas ain't had no good gang connections. They ain't no street niggas, none of that. I'm with these dudes. We on Myrtle and Ashland at the corner, crossing the street. While we crossing the street, we see a bunch of grown-ass men, bloods. The sky was red outside. It was one of them weird days. These niggas out, peace out my days, screaming, blah, blah. All the wild shit these niggas used to do, right? Everybody in the pack was a grown man. Walking across the street, I'm blued up, got the blue bandana on it. But again, I'm with my homeboys who don't gangbang. These niggas come across the street, they ride down on niggas. Like I said, these are grown men. They ride down on niggas, yo, with that blue be bout, yada, yada, yada. I turns it down because I'm with these niggas, right? We was on our way to see some women. We got to see the women. I'm boiling on the inside. Boiling on the inside, going through it. Heart racing, adrenaline up. My homeboy Josh sees it in me. Yo, you all right? Nah, I gotta go home. I gotta go home. Son, don't go do nothing. Yo, I'm good, bro. I'm going home. I leave them, race through the projects. I go find this group of niggas, right? Long story short, I end up beating dog shit out of one of the niggas. The grown man. The nigga cuts me, right? Not on no head up shit, like cutting behind him. The nigga cuts me. It was a ton of niggas that was claiming Crip on that motherfucking avenue when I got cut. I was 15 fighting a grown man in front of a bunch of niggas who was supposed to be my homies. This is real shit. Nobody did nothing. Now, the one-on-one, I don't care if it was a grown man because I was handling myself. Me and him had a one-on-one. But once the nigga pulled out that knife and cut me, that shit was supposed to explode. Bunch of Crip niggas out there. Niggas ain't do nothing. Niggas ain't do nothing. The next day, right? No, hold on. Let me finish that story. Those same niggas who did nothing when the nigga cut me, 1,000 of them walked me down Ashland to Brooklyn Hospital. A bunch of niggas in the fucking ER. It's crazy. Nobody did nothing to this nigga. Right? Gang shit. The next day, 15-year-old me, I got stitches. They blue. I'm outside. I'm hyped because I got blue stitches on some stupid shit still. One of the OG Bloods from down there. Nigga named Ice. Again, a grown man. I come outside the next day. All the Crip niggas, yo, Ice looking for you. Yo, Ice looking for you. How? How can niggas that's supposed to be gang be telling me a nigga looking for me? Because he would have to be looking for me to do something to me, right? This is how I look at it. But I mean, I ain't really relying on niggas. I'm me. I go outside, nigga looking through me. I ain't ducking. I go find him. He find me. We having words. While we having words, this nigga says, yo, I had, a bunch of Crip niggas with me. This nigga start calling niggas out. Nigga, I seen you and I told you to tuck your flag off. Nigga, I did this. I burnt your flag. I did this to you. I did this to you. This is real shit. He just calling out the niggas who standing around me. Just, yo, you pussy, you did this. You done. There's about 9 niggas there. There's only about 3 niggas he ain't say nothing about. So that's about to go down. But I'm hearing what he's saying about all these other niggas. Because in the projects, y'all Crip. When you go downtown, niggas tucking flags. When you go, like, that's where I come from. When shit was dangerous and you had to be on this side, you had to go downtown to buy your fitteds. You had to go downtown and buy your clothes, and everybody was blood. The nigga passing out flyers was blood. The nigga shopping was blood. It was everywhere down there. So while he doing all this, he telling me about these niggas, I'm listening. Because I'm like, damn, last night you niggas really ain't pop. Like, I wasn't mad that niggas ain't pop when I started the fight, but after I got cut, it was supposed to go down. It didn't go down. And now the next day, he outside calling these niggas by their name. Nigga telling. So from young, I knew it wasn't really what I thought it was. So with that, I started pulling back. And when I started pulling back, it's like niggas had a problem with me pulling back. My nigga, you can't have a problem with me pulling back if when I was in it, you didn't stand with me. But when I say all that to say, these bonds be fake as fuck. From Lil Durk to Jim Jones to me. It's all fake as fuck. Because to this day, I'm still bonded with a bunch of niggas who never put on no colors. Because those are genuine bonds. I didn't need to get beat in, which I did. I hit the square. I wasn't one of them niggas, though. I hit the square. I took mine. Because I was ready for that. I was ready for what I thought that shit was. But it was no camaraderie. It wasn't no brotherhood. It wasn't. And I didn't initially join up for that. But I had to legitimize myself by being a part of an actual set. So I did everything I needed to do. I thought I was doing it right. But I noticed what my heart was versus everybody else, it wasn't going to work. And that's self-reflection. So now when you see me saying all this all these years later, I felt like this for a long time. I stayed like this for a long time. But then what I started to do is to reclaim myself. When I went to jail, most niggas go to jail and they change their name because they don't want any smut that from jail to be on their name. My name was Eddie Logo from the street all the way through jail back home. And then I said, fuck all that shit. Because my understanding had grew. I even got around some older blood niggas who told me how this shit started. It started from oppression from Spanish people. That's how blood started over here. I didn't hate that aspect because that's basically what I was doing for the Bloods in the street. The Bloods in the street was oppressive with how they was cutting people and how the people was scared. Civilians. We're not talking about gang members. They was valeting civilians. But the niggas in jail wasn't on that type of time. They was on some, these people was oppressing out people. We going back at that. So now in jail, I start to look at it like I ain't never going to switch gangs. But it humanized some niggas on the other side for me. It made them brothers, because some of those brothers passed me information. They passed me knowledge. I'm talking about being black, not no gang shit, not no gang culture. We didn't meet on that level. We met as black men, and that's how all them black men treated me. So I can't be at odds with people that I see are trying to care about me and trying to further my education and let me know more about this black shit. They wasn't trying to convert me. They wasn't trying to bring me into their gang. So the way I look at it, man, if we tear down all those walls, we black men. And as black men, we can find solidarity with each other. Because all of us do it. Black men bonding is the easiest thing for niggas to do. Yeah, I be out shopping and the black man and just walk by, how you doing, bro? How you doing, bro? I don't see women doing that. Niggas see a nice ass, you might catch eye contact, you look at her ass, look up, another nigga looking at you, you shake his head. That's how we treat each other. But all these things we put in between our blackness separate us. You're not a GD, you're not a BD, you're not a Crip, you're not a Blood, you're not a whatever it is, Vice Lord. You're not that, you're a black man first. None of that is on your birth certificate. We got to get back to loving ourselves. A lot of this shit is because a lot of niggas are self-loathing. Like you tired of this experience, you tired of life. And being tired of life got you ready to make bad decisions. But a lot of these niggas that's tired of life is going to step up ceremonies. They're going to graduations. Like, I see the happiness in niggas. You can't see the prom that come after the step up if you in jail. You can't see that from the grave. But I see niggas on Instagram, you loving your kids, you taking them out. Do more of that. Do more of that, because those are the people that's going to appreciate you. All the street shit is going to lead to you putting yourself in a position where a nigga going to tell on you and you going to be heartbroken and away from your kids. At this time in my life, I don't place loyalty on the homies the same way because I'm not in the streets. Street loyalty and civilian loyalties is two different things. And we learning street loyalty don't exist. If you want to talk about Thug, Dirk, Jim, it's no, and all of this shit centers around what? Gang shit. All these Ricos is gang shit. When you look at the news and you see 32 young niggas getting let out of the building, it's because of gang shit. It's an albatross. It's holding us back. There's no reason to argue this. There's no reason to argue this. The 9 Treys, the niggas who started that shit over here, is telling these kids like they giving them an exit ramp. Before, niggas used to be telling niggas blood in, blood out and all that shit. Now you got OGs saying, my nigga, if you want to leave, leave. Because they understand. A lot of these kids aren't bad kids. They're being groomed to be bad kids. I know so many good kids in bad positions because they listening to the wrong people. They're around the wrong people. They had the wrong guidance. I know niggas with dead fathers who calling their fathers legends. And if you look at it, this nigga had 3 good years in the projects and got clipped. You grew up with me, but your father a legend. Like, all of this shit got to change. The way we interact with each other, the way we interact with this street code. I don't know nobody who won with the street code. Like, I understand there's an underworld. And if you survive in that underworld, there's a code that's supposed to be in place. But when was it in place? When Sammy the Bull told? When Frank Lucas told? When was it in place? When Alpo told? When was it in place? When was it real? It's not. It's an idea that has gone too far, and it's an outdated way of thinking. So now we got to look at it as such. And I hope this conversation is riling you up, is making you mad, because you're going to remember why you was mad. I'm mad because that nigga was telling me to grow up. I'm mad because that nigga was telling me I'm not a man because I do kid shit. That's why I'm mad at him. You going to have to tell somebody that when you say why you mad. And you know how they going to look at you? Like a fucking idiot. Because in every word I say, you going to know that I care for me, and you going to know that I care for you. And if you fight that, you might as well take yourself out back, man, and swallow the first thing you hear. The first thing you feel after that gun go pop, man, swallow it. Because if a truth is too hard of a pill for you, man, it get harder than that. Watching Jim Jones and Fat Joe talk, he said something that's super real. Jim Jones, of course. He said something that's super real. It's tougher to be in these streets than it is to be in jail. That's a fucking fact. Think about the responsibilities of a man in the streets, and think about one in jail. In jail, let me tell you how it's laid out. 3 hots and a cot. You get boots. You get clothes. T-shirts. They provide everything for you. Out here, you got to go get that. Out here is where the mortgage is at. The deeds, the leases, the finance, all of that. None of that. Those pressures don't exist in there. You getting on the phone and you asking for visits. You asking for people to take time from real life where it's hard to come chill with you for a couple hours and be inconvenienced. That's what a jail visit is. An inconvenience to the people who got to make that ride. Now, if they love you enough to make it, they going to make it seem like it's nothing. But who the fuck want to get up 5 a.m. to drive 9 hours on a bus packed with other people? Nobody wants to do that, but they do it for you because you made a decision to take yourself out the game. And again, who be taking them trips? A lot of times it's women. The same women niggas be out here disrespecting while they in the streets be the ones trooping it, sending them pink slips. I know. I know for sure. And niggas will come back, them same niggas that they was ready to live and die for that didn't hold them down, niggas will come right back home and do it all over with them niggas and be shitting on women. Like, I understand the whole thing. I understand why women is done with this type of niggas. But this type of nigga is so plentiful that they end up bumping into that nigga more than the good niggas. And as a man, I know the difference between men. It's crazy that these women don't. With all that intuition and all that shit that they, you know what I'm saying? They got all that intuition, but still end up getting played by a fucking idiot. Let's go into that. Let's talk about like relationships real quick, man. Because a lot of people say, well, if a nigga was doing everything he was supposed to do, a nigga was paying the bills, I would be submissive, or I would do this, or I would do that. I'm going to talk about 3 women real specific. And I'm going to do this in order of foulness. Shaquille O'Neal is one of the richest basketball players that ever played basketball. Right? He didn't make all his money on the court, but he made his money. He got married to and had kids by a woman by the name of Shawnee O'Neal. Shawnee O'Neal, I know she didn't want for nothing in this world while she was with Shaq. So that means all the needs was met. He was paying all the bills and all that. Shawnee O'Neal said she don't know if she ever really loved Shaq. With everything that man did, raised his kids ain't never been in no trouble. They all went to school, never had no problems. Shaq never really been in no problems. Shaq on paper is supposed to be the greatest of us. He did all that shit and the woman said, I don't know if I ever really loved him. So what was it all for? Then let's go to Jackie Christie. Ex-basketball player Doug Christie's wife. She had an investigator or her assistant or some shit try to find dirt on him so she could divorce him and take his bread. Because most of the time, that's what they want. They want the lifestyle without the nigga that provides the lifestyle, mind you. Her assistant found nothing. He not cheating. He not doing nothing extracurricular. He just being a good nigga to her. But that ain't what Jackie Christie wanted. So she started putting out bullshit about him, about his character, things of that nature. Her assistant blew it all up. Because her assistant said it was wrong. This man been nothing but good to you and you trying to run a smear campaign on him because you want to get divorced and walk away with that bread. He did everything right. And that's the kind of thanks he got for it. Steph Curry. Steph Curry is one of the richest men to play basketball. It changed the game of basketball. Thousands of kids want to be like him. Grown men shooting the ball like him. Does that mean they were inspired by him? His wife is out there saying she needs the adoration of other men. This is what she's saying. Steph wasn't really her type. when you tell men that women are the prize no matter what, you're not being honest. And not being honest is why relationships are what they are now. People aren't being honest with each other. A lot of people are together for help, not care. Because all of the things that I mentioned just now, if you care, you don't even say. You don't say that type of shit publicly. Are you trying to hurt the man, or you just I don't get what the point of demeaning these men, whether you're with them or not with them. The broke women are saying, if I hit my mark, I'll behave. But the women that already hit their mark ain't behave. So how are we supposed to believe that? You could be buying in your whole life and still get disrespected in the end. What woman is telling their son to do that? What woman is raising a son to be disrespected by a woman that he's loving, caring, protecting, and providing for? But now that has to be a conversation. Because I'm old enough to have women around me that I know that have sons that are of age, sexually mature, or even mature enough to be married. And some of these women have grandkids and all that. I see what they go through with the women. A lot of these women are the same kind of women they don't want their sons to date. And that's an epidemic. I'm saying that a lot. Men have to be simps now to get a woman that everybody done had a turn with. Only to be disrespected in the end. So you gotta find a woman who is more cooperative. You gotta find a woman who understands that your needs matter too. Just trying to please her all the time, that ain't gonna work. That ain't gonna work in your benefit. You probably gonna end up with a stroke and all. That's why niggas die more than women. Because these men go out of their fucking way to do for these women who don't really care for them. No woman that loves you is going to watch you work yourself to death. I believe that. But in that, I'm talking about a partner. A lot of us ain't partnered up. A lot of these girls are in relationships just to show a nigga that curved them, that somebody want them. Let's start there. So you starting for the wrong reason. That's why I see the pictures. Y'all be in relationships, don't take no pictures. And shit be good. Niggas take pictures like a motherfucker and don't be together in the next 2 years. They didn't went on all the vacation. You got to delete all that shit now because y'all hate each other somehow. You got to first ask yourself, why are you in a relationship? Or do you just want somebody? Because if you just want somebody, chances is you ain't going to respect the somebody that's there. That's comparable to just being bored. STD, something to do. And then you resentful the whole time, and then you disrespecting him and you disrespecting. That's not a relationship. That's two people who just couldn't be lonely, so they got together out of that necessity, but nothing else linked up. There's no compatibility. They don't like each other's style. They don't like each other's conversation. But they like each other because they're not alone. And that's what it sounds like when these women are talking about these dudes that got all this money and the fucking Aisha Curry means she needed somebody else to make her feel sexy. You know how disrespectful that is as a man? Especially as a man in his position. Like, I did everything right. This man, Jesus juiced out. Like, every time you see him, he talking about Jesus. Like, he's everything. But she looking for a nigga to smack that ass. She looking for a nigga to choke her. She needs some spice in her life. The spice in other niggas' life is usually dysfunction. It's usually dysfunction, cheating on each other, popping up, niggas putting air tags on each other cars and locations and popping up at work. That's not excitement. That's toxicity. And it sounds like that's what she want. And that's what a lot of these girls want. I see TikToks where women are saying, nice men are boring. So what does that mean about the bad guy? Is the bad guy a better option? Because I hear the conversations that say, if you do X, Y, and Z, I will be X, Y, and Z. But I'm saying the niggas do X, Y, and Z and still get A, B, and C. It's not adding up. The conversation is not adding up to what's actually going on in the world. Cardi B left her husband because her husband was fucking other girls. And then went and became the third baby mother to a nigga who was fucking other girls. And shrugged it off on the real or whatever that shit was. Somebody said something about it and she said, oh, well, I guess he our baby father. We got to figure it out. Why you couldn't figure it out with your husband? Because she took the position, because of the internet shit, she took the position on the internet that she was so hurt and betrayed by that. Because she told women. She told the internet, so now the internet is holding her to that. They would be back together right now if she never took that shit to the internet. She saving face. That's why she just dropped a whole album of hate music. Because she hate a decision, but she can't pivot from her decision because of y'all. Now she the third baby mother. And we're not talking about like down the line. Like he about to have 1, 2, and 3 in the same year. Same 12 months time. But she was arguing with her man that she walked down the aisle with, that she got, 2, 3 kids with? All that commitment, all that investment just to throw it away for something that you would do on the other side. All of this shit, man. I look at all of this shit and I think like, what are we doing? I know it ain't no rules to how this shit's supposed to go or how we supposed to maneuver, but we all know right from wrong. We know what some of this shit is, but we not calling it what it is because it's normal to some of us. We don't even see the dysfunction in some of the things we look at because it mirrors something that we've been through or something that we overlooking because it's not that serious. Not so serious, thinking everything is not so serious is also a detriment to you. Because all of this shit has value in your life. All of it has value in your life. We're supposed to be learning and applying what we learn so we don't have to go through things twice. I'm trying to get people to the point where we're critical with the thinking about everything we go through. Everything we do. Stop being so impulsive. And that's even for myself. That's even for myself. But I'm still growing too. I'm not saying, I'm not up here preaching from the pedestal like, yo, I got it all figured out. No, but I'm willing to try to figure it out. I'm willing to get off the scene to go get shit right, to understand why shit going wrong with me, to understand what's not for me no more. Before I left jail, we had to go through a program, and in that program, it was about learning your triggers. What triggers you? What triggers you? Stay away from things that trigger you. You already know how you gonna react, but if you already know how you gonna react to all these different things, you know what your triggers are. So we have to be conscious of that and stop putting ourselves in positions mentally. We have to stop putting ourselves in positions for the moment because a lot of this shit is all responsive. It's niggas that 3 years of they 3 minutes of their time got them life in prison. It's the reaction. It's the reaction. So if you start building a new circle, because most people are fucked up and stagnant because of their circle. You need new thoughts. You need new ideas. You need people to tell you, yo, that's not right or that's not cool. Enough of us don't hear that. Niggas surrounded themselves by yes men. You're surrounded by yes men. I don't even want no real shit around me. Most of the time when you hear people fall out, it's because they said some real shit. Once we start to be okay with us as a people, like you go to a parade or some shit, you see us on top of each other, laughing, joking, all type of shit. We could do that every day of the year. It don't got to be a special event to love black people. And what I mean by love, let them exist. Don't find a way to have a problem with them. Nobody is in your way when you outside because outside don't belong to you. Nobody is your problem. Nobody is hating on you. That's another thing we got to get rid of, that hating shit. Hating don't make no sense because we all got 24 hours. If I'm watching a nigga on Instagram work his ass off, ain't no way I'm hating on him because I don't got what he has, because I'm watching him work for it. If I'm in bed while he working, ain't no way I can hate on him for what he did because he put that work in. That's the way we got to start thinking. I'm not mad at no nigga because he got no sneakers first. You know, there's niggas out here with yachts. You understand? So even what we call hate, man, we got to change all this shit because all of this shit stops us from being together. We're looking, we go out our ways to find things to separate us. Religion, gangs, family, all that shit. I don't have those separations. I fuck with people on the content of their character. I'm big on that character shit. It ain't a dollar amount in your pocket. I ain't calling you big homie. I'm not calling you big homie because you got some money in your pocket. I'm not doing that. I call you big homie because you give me information. That's what a big homie is to me. I don't give a fuck about your money. If I fuck with you because you got money, I'm a hoe. Niggas be out here knocking hoes and got a whole bunch of hoe tendencies. But I know I went off, kinda. I went off. But I'm passionate about this is why I went off. I see a lot that need to be changed. And I want people to look at themselves. As I looked at myself many times, I looked at myself in the cell. I looked at myself in the street before I went. Like different versions of myself had to look at me and be like, son, what the fuck is you doing? And through that, you got the Really Kick It podcast. This is my evolution. Telling you about me, caring about you publicly. Telling you I care about you and not giving a fuck about what niggas say. Ain't no soft and being considerate, empathetic, sympathetic. Nah, especially when I'm talking about solidarity. Listen, man. As I said at the beginning, I'd like to thank everybody who liked, shared, subscribed, told somebody, text me. I love all the feedback. I love everybody who want to see me win. I love that I even have the opportunity to do this. I had a podcast before this, and a lot of people, and they bring it up all the time. They bring it up all the time. And all they say is, yo, be consistent this time. Be consistent this time. And that I could promise. Because I ain't got to wait for nobody else. And I'm on my time. Of course, my brother and partner is doing this with me, but the consistency is key this time. More so because I got something to say that I feel people need to hear. That I feel people need to come into contact with. Because if I could change one person, man, that mean I did a good job. To me, I don't care what no metric nobody else is using, but to me. And now that I said that, I want y'all to like, share, subscribe. I can't say it enough. I can't say it enough because that's what I need. That's where the growth is going to come from. And that's where you're going to see some of the things that I talked about early in this podcast that I want to do. It takes money to build infrastructure. And I'm willing to grind and do what I need to do to get to where I need so I can start executing these things that I'm talking about, to start helping the people, and y'all can come out and y'all can see and maybe find some resources and things that work for you. That's what this is about for me. I don't want y'all to lose sight of that. I'm not going to lose sight of that. And before I go, I want to say thank you to everybody who purchased one of these. And for the people who know, I'm back to doing clothes. And we about to roll that out too. So I got multiple endeavors that's moving all at the same time. And I can't wait till y'all see everything. With that, this has been the episode 2 of the Really Kick It podcast. And thank you for viewing. And peace.